depends on methods. So these two concepts we will see today. Let me show you copy from here. Yeah. So these are the two groups of test cases we have created, just a dummy test cases. Nothing is there, just more test methods. Groups test and test, groups equal to smoke, test, groups equal to smoke, and multiple test cases I'm categorized into one group, smoke group, and another category is test groups equal to regression, test groups equal to regression, test groups equal to regression. So groups equal to regression, groups equal to smoke. These are the two groups I created with multiple test cases. Same we have a groups test too. So test groups smoke and priority you can give, and groups smoke priority, groups smoke priority 3. So I have given same priority. So which one it will execute, we will see that. And groups equal to regression, groups equal to regression, regression. So in the two test cases, two test classes has many test methods, and we categorized them, right? So how you can control these two classes? So suppose you want to run only smoke, how can we run? Suppose you want to run only regression, how can you run? So first you have to create a testng.xml file. So for that, you just select these two classes, right click and select the testng option, and then second option we have to choose convert to testng. Basically we are creating a testng.xml file. So testng.xml file, what are the tags will be there? Suit tag, test tag, classes tag, then class tag. Class tag represent the each class. Then classes tag closes, test tag closes, and suit tag closes. But where is the groups? How you are controlling groups? So here you need to write our own tags in between, classes and tags in between. You have to add groups tag, run tag, include and exclude tags you have to write. So that I'll show you how to do that. So see that convert to testng. Here you give, so the group suit name I'm giving group suit. So with the same folder, one so subfolder will create under that test output folder, group test, group suit, and we have parallel mode. Don't take anything, just leave it blank. And testng.xml file I'll create under this package, testng programs package. So browse and go to our project, then src and testng programs, and give the XML file name groups testng.xml. So groups testng.xml. So click on finish. Click on finish. So open this. Yeah. So you can see here suit name group suit, test tag thread count 5, name is group test. Both classes are fetching here. But where is the groups? Let's include the groups. So groups, so start tag, end tag, then run tag. So run tag inside, you have to write which groups you want to run. Which groups you want to run. So include tag, include name. So name is, I'm putting smoke I want to run. And I'll write exclude, you don't need to write explicitly, but if I just want to show you how to use that also. Exclude, and you can write regression, how the group name regression lowercase. You have to be very careful while giving same, you have to give group name, you have to give same, otherwise it won't recognize. So I'm saying include the smoke from these two classes, exclude regression groups. So don't run regression, I'm saying. So let's see, and right click on this testng.xml file, and run as testng suit. Individual test case if you are running testng test, but suit if you are running testng suit. See that it's over. Suits are over. Only smoke groups. Smoke test cases are finished first from both the classes. This is the groups class, and 3 are from groups test 2 class. So this is how you can run and control your classes. So same report if you take the report, right? Take the report, refresh. You can see a test output, and you can see included groups and excluded groups. See, with the group suit, another folder is created. So under this, you have a groups test.html. Group test.html is there. You can copy this report and paste it in the any browser. So that is where you can see this. See, included groups is smoke, excluded groups is regression. So like this, you can get a report. And same thing, you can see emailable report properties, and take this emailable report. Next tab, you open this series. Included groups is smoke, excluded groups is regression, and so passed 6. So like this, you'll get a report, nice report. And even so, index.html, third report, right? So third report also you will get these nice reports you are getting. So, and then it really helps you a lot. So by seeing these reports, you can find out logs also. See that this is the grouping XML file, and you can see groups. So smoke group, that is ran, and chronological view if you want, you can see this is the chronological view, right? That's it. The groups, and you want to skip this the smoke, you want to just changing, right? Just changing. Put here regression, put here smoke. Automatically regression will run. See that. Let me show you regression, and here smoke. Just see again, right click and run as testng suit. If there is a suit file, you'll get a testng suit. See, all regression test cases only executed. Now you go to the reports and refresh. See that only regression test cases are executed. So this is how you can control your test cases, which one you want to execute properly. So that's the this testng.xml file. Inside you can control your groups with include and exclude tags. Any questions? Next one is we have to understand depends on methods always run equal to true, and at the rate parameters. These 3 concepts I'm going to explain this program. So what we are doing here is I'm taking a simple example. So LinkedIn login, because that is the one we are going to use even for our framework design also. So in the LinkedIn login, so what you can do is first launch the URL. Okay, launch the URL. After launching, so I'm creating a home page one test case. Then I'll create another one is, let's finish this, and home page one test case. Login is another test case. Logout is another test case. These 3 test cases I want to automate it. How can we automate it? So these are all things. These are all considered as a home page. So you click on this on the home page test case, and you will land in the login page. Then login. Login is another test. And again, once you log in, then only you can log out. So there is a dependence among one test method to another test method, right? If the home page is successful, then it will land in this page, login page. If login is successful, then you can see logout. Otherwise, you cannot see the logout, right? And all these concepts are important. So one method depends on another method. One method depends on another methods. So that is the depends on methods means. If there is a dependency among test methods, then you can set that dependency using depends on methods, right? So depends on methods will help us to run the test cases in the order also. It will give you in the order also. You can execute in the order also. So that's the concept. Let's see that how to do it. Here is the output. How to log out. Just click on this ME icon and you can see sign out. So this sign out I need to do. If you logged in, then only you can sign out. If you are not logged in, you cannot sign out. So how to do these things? So let's see this. So this concept I'll show you. Sign out. Okay, and this is the concept we have to see that now. So let's take this is the scenario. So that scenario we need to automate it. But and username password I'm not going to hard code. I'll supply from XML file. How to supply from XML file? That I'm going to show you. So I'm just taking that code here. Depends on method and always run equal to true. So let me show you that. Even hard asset I'm showing. Hard asset is just it's a normal assertion only. So you don't need to explicitly write, but that's fine. See that we are launching the URL with a LinkedIn homepage at the test description LinkedIn homepage and reporter.log get so homepage inside and waiting the page title wait dot until expected condition start title is this is the title. So hard asset dot asset equals and LinkedIn login sign up driver dot get title. Hard asset dot asset true maybe contains and this title you can check. Then click on sign in link. So driver dot find by dot link text sign in link. And the next page title you have to wait for the next page title. Wait dot until the next page title. This is a sign in page title. So I'm waiting for that. That's my home test, the LinkedIn home page test. Then you will get a do login test. Login test you are getting. So in this do login test, for login I need to pass username passwords. For that, to supply username password from XML file, you have to use parameters. So the parameter name I'm passing here with within the parenthesis of parameters annotation. Then test. So you write description, do a login to LinkedIn website. Then depends on methods and LinkedIn homepage. This do login depends on this method. If this method is not successful and login is not going to happen, and always run equal to true. I'll tell this let. Okay. So let's finish this. Depends on method I have written. Next. So I'll log in. So type. So Oliver wait for the visibility of this element. The sign in heading is there, right? That we are waiting for that. You can see sign in heading. You can go here, sign in heading. This sign in heading, I'm waiting for that. Then see, can you see here the parameters, whatever you have taken here, same parameters I'm taking method name parenthesis inside. Method name after parenthesis, the parameter name, the parameter name, right? The parameter name. And so see that send keys, parameter name. You have to write parameter name only because these values are going to come from XML file. So that XML file will say click on sign in button. So we are clicking on the sign in button. Before clicking, I'm just checking element to be clickable. Whether element is clickable or not from this expected conditions class I'm calling. So then I can click on that. So that's the do login test. Next one is do logout. So you logged in successfully. you have to log out. When you can log out? Only if there is a login is successful. That's why do log out depends on do login test. The method name, see that this is the method name. That method name you need to pass. That depends on method equal to the method name you have to write. And so this is the do log out. One depends on another one. And another thing, so at the rate parameters, the browser, which browser you want to run. So at the rate before class, so public void launch browser string browser, and you can give Gecko driver. Now what is the Gecko driver version we are maintaining? That Gecko driver version we need to pass it. So the Gecko driver version, I think 29, right? 29 we are using now. So executables, Gecko 291. So this is the path we need to pass. So you see that this is the really tricky one. I'm just changing everything into one method of each browser code. I'm just changing here everything. See that? So I'm changing everything into one method. I can control which browser I want to run from XML file. See, at the rate parameters I can use. I want to pass this browser parameter from XML file. So how can you set? The annotation above, you write a at the rate parameters annotation, bracket, curly braces inside, you write the parameter name. Then same parameter should come in the method parenthesis inside, string browser. So if browser dot equals ignore case Firefox, I'm asking to execute this code. That's a nested if else I'm writing. Else if browser dot equals ignore case Chrome, then so set this property to avoid a timeout log in the console. There is a timeout log is coming that you can avoid with this system dot set property. Chrome driver service dot Chrome driver silent output property to true. You set it true, automatically it will set silent property. And even Chrome browser path also change, right? Let me take Chrome browser path. So where is that? Before class is the Chrome browser path. I'm just taking 89 now, but here we have so 89, but it's 87. So I'll just replace this one on the path. But in the framework, you don't need to worry about this, and it will taken care by the WebDriver manager. So else if the browser is equals ignore case Chrome, and you're asking to execute this new Chrome driver. So the path of the exe file, then driver equal to new Chrome driver. Else if browser dot equals ignore case Edge. So then Edge driver related. So let's see Edge driver, which one we are using now. Go back, executables, and Edge 89 now. Okay, 89. That's the latest. So you have to give this. You have to give this and copy and paste and MS Edge driver. So and Edge browser related I'm passing. So MS Edge driver dot exe. If then driver equal to new Edge driver. If else if browser is equals ignore case IE and system dot out dot system dot set property and this IE driver server dot exe. I think this is the same. So let's see 150.1. Yeah, that's the same. And we are using 150.1. This is the one we are using. So same one, you can use that. So once that is done, and then maximize the window and add implicit wait thing, and you can do and hard asset object I created here itself, new assertion. So in the after class, I'm just try catch finally block. If driver is not null, then only you quit the browser. Otherwise, don't quit. Okay, but where is these parameter values you are passing? This browser value and this username password value. From where you need to pass? From XML file. So let's create an XML file for this class. So right click on this class. So testng, convert to testng. This is how to create a testng.xml file, and go to the this generate testng.xml window and give here. So parameters suit, and then you give parameters test, and here you need to change XML file. So the XML file is, you have to give your project, then src below you have to choose your package. Under that package I am creating my XML file, that is, so parameters, so testng.xml file, parameters testng.xml file. See that? So your class name has come already. So the suit name is changed to parameter suit, and test name also change it to parameters test. Parallel mode, I am not selecting anything, just leave it as it is. So finish it, and you got an XML file here. So now open this XML file, and you have to give now the browser, which browser you want to run, the username, password. So I told you parameters are there. Each parameter, one parameter tag you have to create in the XML file. So how to create? So first I'll create a browser one. See, name is browser. See, that same name you have to give whatever you have here. So this name and this name should match, and this same name you have to pass in the XML file. Here, browser, and value is, I'll run on Chrome browser. So you can control everything, which browser you want to run. Okay, that is done. The browser parameter I passed, browser name and value I passed it. Next one, so parameters. So name is uname, and value is, so which value you want to give. What is your username? So I'm giving, that is the value I'm passing from XML file. This is the one way to hide your values. You don't need to show the, in the test case itself, you don't need to hard code. You don't need to hard code your usernames and passwords. Your username, password, you are not hard coding here. You can hide that. That will be somewhere else, XML file. You don't need to hard code. So that's advantage. The parameter second one is PWD. So PWD you can give, parameter name is PWD, and password I can give, what is the password I need to see. So we can check that whether it is correct or not, otherwise it will fail again. Let me take from here. Yes, that is correct only. Okay, so now done. 3 parameters we have in our test case. All 3 parameters values we passed in the XML file. So this is how to supply a data from XML file to your test cases. So now run the test case.
Your username is wrong, Ramesh. Looks like it's @gmail.com.
Oh, okay. Yes, thank you. @gmail.com. Right. So you have to give properly, otherwise same value will read and your test case will fail. We have to be very careful there while giving this. And then once it is done, and suppose you haven't set the depends on method, what will happen? So the order won't be set, right? Now here, this is the LinkedIn homepage test. Suppose I'm not setting the parameters, depends on methods. See what will happen. Okay, see what will happen. Now in this, I'm not setting a priority also. I'm not setting depends on method also. Now which one will execute first in these, out of these methods? LinkedIn homepage test, do login test, do logout test. Which one will execute first? Which one will execute?
Do
First,
login.
which test method will execute here?
Do login.
Do login will execute. But that's wrong, right? First, without home page, without clicking on sign in, without having a username, password, how it will execute? That is the reason you have to set depends on methods. Why you need to set a depends on method is, this is the reason. This is the reason I was asking why you need to set a depends on methods. Because if This method is not there and there is no chance of executing login test. First, you have to execute this method. This is the mandatory. That's why I'm setting a depends on methods. This login depends on this method, mandatory. If this is not successful here, then, and this should not exit, the login should not exit. I'm asking just exit. Don't execute, I'm just telling that. So that is the, this depends on methods, how it will helpful. Just right click on this and run. So you'll come to know how it is helping. TestNG suite. TestNG suite is the one you have to use. See that it is going to next page. So home page test is done. Just login is happening, right? And going to the next page. So then we have to, that's it. It will close. The test cases passes 3. Suppose my depends on method, first one is failed. So wantedly I'm making fail, okay? This one. I'm giving a assertion wrong, okay? I'm giving assertion wrong. Now what will happen? See that. So now assume that it failed. Some reason it failed, but I'm making here assertion wrong I'm giving. So what will happen? You see that. Will it execute? That depends on method failed. Will it execute the next 2 methods? It won't execute. See that? Stopped and terminated completely. And see that skips 2, failure 1, run 3. And you go there and you can see the report nicely. And you can see here the report. And this report you won't get because this is a group test.html. So you can use your own report, but meanwhile we'll see emailable report. See, emailable report you can see. Skips 2 and failed 1. So why these 2 are skipped in gray color? You see that? Now, LinkedIn homepage. What is the reason? See that? Java assertion error, expected this one, this title, but found this one. You are given wrong one, that's why assertion error you got it. So, and other method, login method, do login and do logout, why it didn't execute? See that? And here it is saying, and depends on method test, do login, didn't finish, depends on test, not successfully finished methods, depends on not successfully finished. That means this is the one depends on, right? This is the depends on. This is not finished successfully. That is the reason it was failing. That is the reason it was failing. Then how can we handle this kind of thing? So if the situation is available for login, there is a situation. You got the username, password fields also there, but unnecessarily we are skipping them. See, this is skipping. These 2 are skipping in lemon color. You can see that. But how can we run them even the first test case fails also? So that is the way we can use always run equal to true concept. Always run equal to true, even though this depends on method fails also. You can tell, okay, all conditions are available to run this do login. The pages, the fields are available. I don't want to skip unnecessarily. So for that, what you can do, always, so run equal to true, you write. Even this test case fails also, this test case will execute. Now see that. That's always run means always executed, irrespective of depends on method status. That's always run forces to execute that test case. So this is the always run equal to true concept. Completed, right? Done. So all 3 test cases. Failure 1. Why it has a failure? The first test case you have failure. The LinkedIn homepage assertion error. So that's the issue. But other 2 test cases are passed. Do login, do logout is passed. So this is the how you can control, and depends on method also sets the order of execution also. It sets the order of execution also, right? See, you can get one more parameter suite you will get here. So just refresh here, and you can see one more concept, one more folder you will get, parameter suite, and you can see parameter test.html. And there is a one more how to run failed test cases. See that testng-failed.xml, only failed test case will come there. See that. So testng-failed.xml will create under your test output folder. Which one failed for us? LinkedIn homepage failed, right? So only see that that method's only taken from this class. So class tag, and class tag inside which methods you want to include name, launch browser, include name, LinkedIn homepage test, include name, quit browser. So these are the methods I want. Then close the methods tag, close the class tag, close the classes tag, close the test tag, suit tag. Automatically you are getting that testng-failed.xml. Once you correct that, so once you correct it, and you can run the test case. So I'll correct it and I'll right click on this testng-failed.xml and run as testng set. Only that test will execute. That's it. Not all other test cases. This is the advantage how to run failed test cases only. How to run failed test cases? In the test output folder, we'll get a testng-failed.xml file will generate. In that file, the failed test cases will be included under classes tag. So only that class will run. Now it's pass. So this is the how you can run the failed test cases only, not the other previously passed test cases. So or you can find here also testng-failed.xml. Both are having same, but this one is belongs to this parameter suite. Okay, so that's the how to run failed test cases also. I have covered failed to test cases, how to run. Then I have covered depends on methods, always run equal to true, groups, @parameters. So these are the 5 concepts we have seen now. Now, that's all about all the testng concepts. So any questions?
Sir, can we use depends on method instead of priority?
Yes, you can use. It sets the priority for depends on method. But which one you want to execute, that method you have to pass on the sequence, right? This one. So this it will execute first, then it will execute second, this one. You can use like that also, depends on method also. It will execute in the order also. Then for next test method, you want to execute next do login. Again, write it depends on methods and do login you have to write here. So then same order it will execute. Before executing this, first this will execute. So what is the disadvantage with the priority and this one? And same is setting the priority, but what is the difference? If you use priority, the priority is irrespective of priority 1, priority 2. If priority 1 fails, priority 2 doesn't wait and it will execute. But depends on method is not like that. If any depends on not successfully finish, and this will skip automatically. That's the main difference between priority and depends on method. Depends on method will skip the test cases if above test cases failed, but priority doesn't fail them. It will execute all the test cases. And if you want to debug, and it's tough for you, all the test cases you have to debug. But here with the depends on method, you can easily analyze. Okay, above method failed, so that's why these test cases are skipping. So that means the root cause for this skipping test cases is the main test case. If you fix it, the other test case will execute. You don't need to debug the other test cases, and that's the advantage with the depends on method. And priority is just it will set the priority, but you cannot control if above test case fails and second test case is not going to skip. It will still execute and report a failure. If all the conditions are not satisfied, it will still execute. Execution will continue all the test cases, but depends on method is not like that, and it will skip automatically if the conditions are not met and that depends on not successfully finished. Okay, so that's the difference between depends on method and priority. So the next one we need to see Google suggestions. The Google suggestions is how we can get this Google suggestions, and you want to select a particular option. How can you select? particular option. So let me take this and we can run parallel execution tomorrow. And first set all the test cases. Google suggestions means what? Let me show you Google suggestions means what means. So that we should understand first. Open the google.com, right? You type little bit, automatically you'll get a, these are the suggestions. This is the suggestion box. This is the suggestion box, right? And see many options you have, many options you have. So in these options, I want to select one. I want to select one. How can you select it? I want to select one. How can you select it? This is the one concept we are going to so automate that. And another one is, so this is the one test case I'm going to do main. I'll give one thing and it has to select. Right, in these options, I want to select one of them. How can you select one of them from this suggestion box? This entire thing is a one suggestion box. See that? Now, how can you get this entire thing is one suggestion box? You just right click, inspect. See that? There will be a option for you link UL. See that? UL represent the entire suggestion box. Each LI tag will represent one option. See that? One option. One option. So I hope you understand now how you can get all this group of suggestions into collection. Anybody can give a clue? This code I have given in the find element and find elements method explanation time. So this is the group of elements you have in the box. Particular box inside things you have to fetch all this into collection. How can you fetch? What is the code you have to write?
First, identify the drop-down box and then.
Okay, first identify this entire list box. This is the list box, not drop down. This is a suggestion list box. So identify this entire suggestion list box using this UL. UL tag representing the entire suggestion box. So identify the parent element, Super Lakshmi. Next. So next, what is the next step?
Fetch all the list items into the list collections.
So fetch all these options. Every option is represented by LA tag. Based on the tag name locator, you fetch all of them into collection from this parent tag, from this parent element. So list web element suggestion list equal to the suggestion box dot find elements you have to use by dot tag name LA tag. All suggestions you will get. Then iterate it. So the same code I have given drop down code, right? Without select class, how can you select the same code we are applying here? So that is the one I'm doing here. The suggestions, how can you select? And let's see how to do this concept. Okay. And this is the one concept and we have to automate this. So let's see how to automate. So that's it, right? Yeah, here it is. See that again, this, I'll take this code. So how to run, so this entire code you copy paste. The same code, not this one, right? Browser code, this one. So this browser code we change it, right? So this setup I need to run my test cases parallelly. I'm going to use these two classes. So suggestion, Google suggestion thing, and another thing is I'm going to use ZK demo test. So these classes I'm going to use it there. Maybe I'll remove this assertion I don't need. Now see that. So first, so open the Google, then verify the page title. So type the Selenium keyword, driver dot find element by dot name q send keys Selenium keys dot backspace. Yeah. Now which keyword you want to select from this suggestions is I want to select the Selenium download. Selenium download key I want to select. So how can you select that? How can you do that? So this is the one concept. So we have to see that this is the one. First identify the suggestion box, driver dot find element by dot class name. So this class name is there here. Can you see here? UL tag after the class name is there, the class locator. This class locator, based on that, I'm identifying the parent element. Parent element means suggestion box, entire suggestion box. Then, and from this suggestion box, I need to fetch all the suggestions. So list web elements, suggestion list equal to suggestion box dot find elements by dot tag name. The tag name you have to use that. So you have to use that. So how to use this? See, tag name li tag. Li tag base, we are fetching all of them. So based on the li tag, we are fetching all the dropdowns. So that is what we are doing. And how can we do that? And that is what where we are focusing here. So we are focusing how to take all those options, and then you got a collection, right? You know how to iterate the collection. You can use a for each loop, right? You can use a for each loop. You can use any for each loops, and then you can focus on that. So that's the one thing you can do, right? So how can we fetch all of them into collection and iterate it? So this is the concept we are going to automate here. See that the collection name is suggestion list, that data type is web element. Web element e colon suggestion list. So suggestion list, in the suggestion list, if e dot get text, so 2 lowercase dot trim equals to your expected keyword, this keyword, which one you are expecting. So then e dot click, same code we have written, right? That same code we are using. Then so we are using this one. So let's see this. You can create an XML file for this also. You can create an XML file for this also, and you can run it. I will just run it, but if there is a parameters, you must have a parameters. Otherwise, it doesn't work out. So let's click on this, and we can see how we can do that. How we can do that, we'll see that. And so let's create an XML file, suite file for this. Suite file, convert to test.ng. Otherwise, it doesn't work out. Suggestion test, suggestions. Even list box also I'm covering here, how to take the list box and XML file you create. Tomorrow I'll show you how to run parallelly these classes. ZK demo also I'll take up parallel execution purpose, then we can run it, right? This one, and then we have to give session test.ng dot XML file, finish it. So this is all the concept. You can get it, right? And I want to run, which browser I want to run. So maybe I'll run on Chrome browser. So add parameter tag. So parameter is a browser, and you want to run Firefox, Firefox also fine. Any browser, so you can set it. Right click, run as, run as. So this is the another thing you can do that. See that what happened? Keeps why it is skipping. Let's see that. After class, the driver executable doesn't exist. Illegal state exception. Remember all these exceptions. The driver executable doesn't exist. Which one? Okay, we have given wrong. See that path is wrong. 2. This is wrong, right? Already you have given that. Again we are mentioning. See that by reading you can easily catch that the driver executable doesn't exist, saying that exe file path you have given wrong. That's why you are getting illegal state argument, illegal state exception. If you give a wrong one, you will get that. So that is the reason you are getting that. So run it back. Okay, now it will run. You can see that, right? Done. See all the options. It is going to print. So your option is here. That option will exist. That's how to select auto suggestions. How you can select auto suggestions. So that's it for the day. And tomorrow we'll see how to run this class ZK demo depends on method parallelly. How can you run parallelly? I'll show you tomorrow.